It was about 3 months ago when Lumix updated the firmware for the S12, S12R and S12E, and today it's time for the rest of the lineup to get some love too. For the full frame cameras, we got firmware version 3.4 for the S5 II, 2.4 for the S5 IIX, and version 1.6 for the S9. For the Micro Four Thirds cameras is version 1.5 for the GH7 and version 2.5 for the G9 II. Now the latest firmware update is technically just point updates, but there are actually quite a few nice improvements packed in. So let's go through some of the highlights. The first one is for filmmakers. For the S5 II, S5 IIX and GH7, Panasonic has added Bluetooth control for DJI gimbals, including the RS4, RS4 Pro and RS4 Mini. This feature was already available for the S12 series cameras, but it's great to see it trickle down. Last time I checked, the DJI RS4 Pro and the RS4 was not supported for the Lumix Bluetooth control, so it seems the compatibility has now expanded. I've connected my S5 II to my RS4 Mini gimbal, setup was super quick, and I was able to control the camera wirelessly through Bluetooth, so very handy. The next one is for photographers. This one applies to all the models except the S9 because the S9 doesn't support camera flash. Previously, when you connect an external flash, constant preview will stop working. But now with the new firmware update, constant preview can work even when you're using a flash. This improvement was previously introduced with the S12 series cameras, and I'm glad Panasonic rolled it out across the rest. They have also mentioned improved compatibility with OM Digital Solution flashes, though I haven't received much information about what exactly that means. Now for video shooters again, Lumix FLOW has been updated and now supports the S5 II, S5 IIX and GH7. So you'll be able to use the features like remote monitor, including wireless remote monitor. You also have multi-frame markers support and ability to apply LUT to your live view when shooting in vlog. So you don't have to look at a flat profile video feed anymore. Interestingly, this means the S5 II, S5 IIX and GH7 actually have better Lumix FLOW support right now than the S12 lineup. But S12 owners, don't worry, I'm sure you will receive the new update when the next firmware updates arrive for your camera. For the S5 II, S5 IIX and S9, you can now reverse the focus ring direction or customize how the control ring behaves on your camera. There's also improved support for the new Lumix S100-500 lens with the teleconverters as well. For filmmakers, there's now a shutter speed limiter option. If you enable it, the camera won't let you drop your shutter speed below your video frame rate. It's a simple thing, but it can save you from accidentally ruining your video. This new feature is available on all the 5 cameras. The camera's startup speed has also improved across all the models apart from the S9 because S9 has already got the improvement previously. I tested the S5 II and the camera now starts up in just a bit over 2 seconds, which feels noticeably faster than before. And we also have a pretty fun but also very useful new feature in the Lumix LAB app. It's called Magic LUT. This new feature works with the real-time LUT feature on your camera. Basically, you can pick any of your old photo as a reference photo. For example, a film photo that you shot many years ago but you really love the color, or maybe a photo you shot using another camera, and the Lumix LAB app can automatically create a custom LUT based on your reference photo to give you a similar look. Alright, now let's do a test of the Magic LUT feature. I want to take some photos here using the S5 II, and I also grabbed my Fujifilm X-M5 with me so that I can see whether I can use the Magic LUT feature to copy the film simulation from Fujifilm and then apply it to the S5 II. Alright, first let me take a photo using my Fujifilm X-M5. Looks pretty nice. Alright, then let me transfer the photo to my phone. Okay, now I have the photo on my phone, and let me bring out my Lumix S5 II. Okay, now let me try take a photo, similar photo, using my Lumix S5 II. Yeah, maybe similar. Let me transfer the photo to my phone. Alright, next let me go to Gallery and let me use the Magic LUT feature. And I should choose this one. This is the Magic LUT photo. And this is the result compared to original. And let me save the file. Save photo. Alright, and let's have a look at the two photos and compare them. This is the photo shot with my Fujifilm, and this is the photo edited using the Magic LUT feature and shot on my Lumix S5 II. And now the thing is, I can save this Magic LUT, create a LUT, Richard Fuji LUT. Alright, set. And now I can go back and I can upload this to the camera. Transfer to camera. I can just put it into this one, set. And once you've done that, then you can shoot JPEG using that new LUT on your camera. In terms of results, it is not 100% identical to the reference photo, but honestly, even professional colorists cannot perfectly replicate a look if you just give them a reference photo. So in my quick test, I think the results are quite good, especially if your reference photo has a good mix of color and contrast. If you pick a reference photo that has very limited color and variation, then the Magic LUT feature just may not give you very good result because you just have not supplied enough information for the software to figure out what kind of look it is. But with the right reference image, it works surprisingly well for a one-click process. It is indeed pretty magic. So give it a try and see what you got. I'd love to hear what kind of results you get. So right after I finish record the video, I jump on the plane to Japan. So now I'm in Kyoto and I have just received some more information from Lumix about the new version of the Lumix FLOW app. So the latest Lumix FLOW app version is 1.3, and apart from supporting some additional cameras, there are also a few other changes and improvements. So the first one is it has added vertical UI support for smartphones. So when you turn your smartphone vertically, the UI will update to show you that. And there's also support for unplanned cut additions. So if you're using the storyboard feature and there are some additional unplanned video clips that you want to shoot, then this feature will allow you to do that. And now the latest version of the Lumix FLOW app also supports mirroring to multiple devices at the same time. So you can now send the video feed to up to a maximum of 4 external devices. And it supports both iOS and Android devices. However, there are some limitations on what sort of devices can be used at the same time. I'll put that compatibility chart on the screen for you to have a look. So yeah, these are some of the biggest improvements in this round of Lumix firmware updates. I'll leave a link to the official firmware page down below so you can check out the full list of changes and download the firmware yourself. Even if you don't need any of the new features and changes, Lumix says these updates also improve the camera's operational stability, so it's still worth installing. Alright, that's it for this one. Let me know which feature you are most excited about, what you'd like to see in the next firmware. Drop it in the comments and I'll make sure to pass your thoughts on to Lumix.